From that interview. We're actually talking about that on the program today. I've got another guest whose organization has been making impact in Nigeria through our organization, Teleola Foundation Incorporated of Tight True Vine Orphanage based in Nigeria. They recently celebrated their first year anniversary and fundraising in London on 30th July 2016, and the gentlewoman who runs that organization is Dr. Teleola Oganla. Joining me in the studio today, Dr. Teleola, thank you for being part of the program today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us, what is Teleola Foundation?
Teleola Foundation is a charitable organization catering for orphans, widows, less privileged, and the poor all over the continent, not only in Africa alone, but is based here.
In London?
Yes.
So you're, okay, go on.
But we've got branches all over. At present, we have some groups in Nigeria that caters for the motherless home in Africa, and we also cater for the widows in Nigeria.
How do you see the Nigerian environment in terms of government meeting the needs of the people before people like you and your organization come to their need?
I would say that I've not seen that done by Nigerian government. Yes, there's no any means through which Nigerian government benefit all these less privileged people. Because if I want to give you an example of an orphan family that my foundation that is just a year old has been looking after, you'll be amazed. The eldest of a cis family is a graduate of Advocacy University. She studied accountancy. She's been home for 5 years without no job. There's no family, no parent, and she's got about 6 siblings that she needed to care for. So all she does is go from door to door, washing people's clothes, sweeping their houses.
And she's got a degree in accountancy.
She's got a degree in accountancy, but she could not get a job. Our immediate brother was also a degree holder in Ibadan University, no job. So all they do is to move from one place to other, to feeding, only to eat, not even to get clothes. So this lady came to know me through Facebook, and I've been with the foundation. I've been with the family. In fact, 2 years ago, they were going to be homeless because the landlord was going to send them out. They've owed him a whole year rent without paying. So she got me informed, and since then, my foundation has been paying for the rent. The landlord chose not to make them remain in the property because he said he does not see any means through which they could continue to meet up with the rent fees. But I said the receipt should be written in the name of Teleola Foundation. So for the past 2 years now, we've been the one paying for the rent.
And there are several thousands of people like that across different regions in Nigeria.
Numerous, numerous. It's unfortunate that the government are not looking into that area at all.
Is charity organization as yours getting any support in terms of operation and how you do your job in Nigeria?
Yeah, to date, like I said, it's just a year old, and I've got a support of one medical doctor who chose to be anonymous. So he cared for 16 people for my foundation, free medical care. Yeah.
What about, I do know that you're based in the UK as well.
Yes.
How do you coordinate your organization's activities in a way that you're able to do your job across different countries in Africa, starting from your home country, Nigeria? How are you able to coordinate from London?
Yeah, I'm able to coordinate from London because I've got representatives or members of this foundation that are based in Africa. They're based in Nigeria. So they are the ones that sort Nigerian people out.
Okay.
And here in England, I've got about 25 members that are with me, that we both work together. We care for the orphans and the less privileged in the community here in the UK. And we often go to homes to give them money, canned food, and clothing materials.
Tell us, how much of, let's look at the Nigerian environment basically, because I know you are a Nigerian. Is there a way the government, if you were to be advising the government, what would you be telling them in terms of support for people who are less privileged and who are orphans, so that an organization as yours would be able to have less to do and dedicate more resources to other things?
Yeah, what I would say to the government is that the government should be more compassionate. They should put it in their system, a means through which they can provide necessary facility to the poor. I don't see that in Nigeria. I don't see it in their budgets. I don't see it in Nigerian system. You can imagine some people that are just ill. There's no free medical treatment. How would they get treated?
I think the government of some states, through their states hospital, they said they offer free medical.
There's nothing of such. There's nothing of such. I've been there. Yeah, in fact, when I was telling one of these children to go to the hospital, I said, can you go to general hospital? They got there and they're asking them to pay for even to buy a syringe. You know, they have to pay for it. And they said it's a government hospital. It's supposed to be free medical treatment, but they don't have all these facilities there. They could say it on TV, they could have it on media, they could have it on magazines, but I have not seen it happening. I have family in Nigeria. I have people that I care for in Nigeria. I've been to Nigeria many years. I've been in Nigeria this year. So I don't see it coming from anywhere. So I think they should do what they're saying. They're not doing it. And lots of people are dying because there's no means to support them. Look at England, for instance. There's free medical treatment here. We don't have it in Africa, which is too bad. And that's why you have a lot of hooligans, lot of people going into armed robberies, because
Criminals.
there's no way they could make ends meet. There are lots of graduates without no job. There's no means of feeding, nothing whatsoever. And you said you don't want them to be on the street. Why would they not be on the street? When the government are not caring for them, they should fight. They will always look for a means to survive. So if we want to cut short any kind of corruption, it has to come from the government. Let them put out these resources. Let it be general. It should not be centered to some people only. Let it just be universal. And let everybody have the facility and enjoy it.
What is Teleola Matter Foundation doing in terms of not only providing facilities but educating, creating awareness? Because, for instance, you spoke about a lady who is a graduate of accountancy, finding a job, and your organization has to take up the responsibilities for that family.
Yeah.
What about creating some kind of enlightenment, education that could change the orientation from a job seeker to a job maker? That she studied accountancy does not mean she has to start.
Okay.
Is there any, does your organization, Teleola Matter Organization, have a kind of a training program, enlightenment program, seminars you carry out to shift people's direction to being independent of government?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. This particular lady I'm talking to you about, I gave her a lecture on how she could be self-independent, and she told me that she had interest for tailoring, fashion designing, and I sent her to a school for it, which the foundation paid for, and that was why we were able to buy her an industrial machine. Cost us about 90,000 naira. Now she can work as a fashion designer. And now she is even the one that designed the dress I'm putting on now. You cannot believe that.
Wow.
For someone that thought that she was going to end up her life, I could stand up for you to see this design. She made it. I bought her an industrial machine, and now she's sewing clothes for my son in the US. Gives it to his friend. Now she's earning dollars. So what I'm thinking of doing now is, when I get to Nigeria next year, I'm trying to build up a training center where we could educate people, more or less in a way of making them independent.
Self-employed.
Yes, even in Nigeria, I have a football academy, Messiah Football Academy. We get people off the street. We provide a house for them, and we put them through training to play football, and we give them feeding as well. They are children that don't even have parents, or they have parents, the parents are not there to support them because of finances. So we got this. This is in a partner with my husband in Nigeria. It's called Messiah Football Academy. Yes. So what I'm looking at doing now is going home and try to provide a field where we could train and get people to be self-independent. You could have the degree, yeah, but if there's no job there, find other things doing. This lady is very happy now because she could reach out to her siblings. And even the immediate brother that was meant to be a graduate now, the foundation just paid for his GCSE, you can imagine. Because there was nobody, and the government are not there. They are not even looking down to those people on that level.
And there's a limit to what your organization can do.
Yes, of course.
And other organizations like that.
There's a limit we can do.
Okay, all right. But how does your organization find help? Where do you get money? How do you get the fund that you deploy to helping the less privileged in Nigeria? And
yes, for now, I would say the funding is coming from only me, myself, and just some few people.
Well, you do run, permit me, I may have to blow up on this. You are also a founder of one of the very successful churches in African churches in London.
Yeah.
Does the money, should I say, is the money coming from your successful church to fund Teleola Matter Foundation? Because you are a founder of a very successful church in London. Yeah. I mean, you've got huge members in your church who are doing very well in different fields of life.
Yes, and that was why I said I've got about 25 members of this foundation here in the UK. So they are the ones that put money together every month that we put to support. We get resources from that means. And you know, in this country, it's good to be charitable, yeah. The church is a charitable organization, so they do the little they could do, but not everything. Just a bit.
So what your organization is to support what the church is doing as a charitable organization?
Yes.
But what inspired you into this?
Okay. What inspired me to this is that when I was growing up, I experienced cruelty and bitterness as a child in the house and of a family relative whom I lived with. And if I tell you that I once slept in the market, popular market in Ibadan, Dugbe market, I slept overnight because I was trying to run away from being beaten again because I've already got blood all over my body, marks all over my body. So I was trying to escape being beaten that night. Little did I know that I would end up sleeping in a market. It was a long story. So when I was going through all those kind of life, I was praying. I said, God, one day, if I'm out of this and I'm able, I'll look back to some people that might still be in that kind of situation that I was before. So all through that time, I've been having the empathy and believing in the Lord that one day I will start to care for people. I've been doing it on myself alone, but I will found a foundation, an organization to care beyond what my resources can reach out to. So I've had that in mind, but it's more of the vine now, because last year, during my regular Shiloh program, a mentally challenged man walked into the church where I pastor in the dead of night, 2 a.m. in the morning. He walked into the church and he brought some food to the altar, and everybody was looking at him that, what could that mean? And he just turned back and he pointed at only me in the group of about 20 people, and he said to me, you, go and start a foundation. I looked at him and I wondered, what type of foundation? I thought it was going to be a foundation to build a house. He said, can't you see the poor, the homeless, people without clothes? Open your eyes and look at them. They are around you. And I saw that that could not be a natural token. It could be, I mean, it has to be a spiritual, visitation. And I looked at him. He looks very much unkept. You could even perceive some kind of odor coming out of his body. And I was just staring at him, and all the people were there with me, looking at him. Before we knew it, he went down, and he was using his finger to draw a sketch on the floor for how I'm going to build the orphanage. He said I should have a building here. He also said I should build a church for them. He also said I should build a school for them to occupy them. And he got up. He was walking away. And I just got up to say, excuse me, trying to buttress what he said, forgetting about the nature, the way he appeared. I said, excuse me, can I? He looked back at me and said, don't ask me questions. I am not God. I am an animal. Oh my God. The moment he said he was an animal, I cannot imagine the way I was feeling. I just went on the floor and I was praising the Lord. I said, you sent an animal to me. And the Lord said to me, yeah. When Balaam was not looking ahead of him, he made his horse to speak to him. You thought that it's too heavy for you. So I sent this man to you that it is time for you to start it. And I said, God, where do I start from? Because I'm ignorant of this. I thought I have to have billions of money before I will found a foundation to care for people. And there and then, I just got reminded that hasn't someone told you to write a biography about yourself and launch it? And any money realized from it, you should go and use it to start a foundation? I said, oh, that's true. I just said, okay. So last year, I wrote a book about myself, the biography about myself, how I started, how I got to where I am today. And I called people in to launch it. And at the launching...
I remember you invited me, but that was out of town.
yeah, I invited you. That's great. So at the launch, you cannot imagine, I realized more than the required amount that is needed to start a charity organization in the UK. So my registration is in the process now because I've already put it into the company house. Because I don't want a foundation that is just kept behind the doors. I want everything to be clear and registered. So it's in the course of registration now. So I will say that this foundation, even though I have the empathy, I went through a lot in my life when I was growing up. And also, it was divine because God sent someone, a strange man. And to the glory of God, that man is now a beneficiary of this foundation. Because now he is no more settled.
You were able to locate him after?
Yes. He came back again. He came back again. And anytime he comes to me, he will say, you have not done what I asked you to do. I said, I will do it. Every time it's on my neck, you know. But now, because my foundation also do counseling to people that are depressed, loneliness, people that are segregated. So I get them in and I give them counseling that
where's your office? How can you be reached?
They can reach me at Messiah Church. That's where I use temporarily.
For now, okay.
Opposite West Norwood Bus Garage.
Okay.
Yes. So
Messiah Church, opposite West Norwood Bus
2 Garage.
Okay.
Yes. So I do counseling for people there. So this man I'm talking to you about comes to church now. Now he can put on nice wares. And every week he comes to me, he say, give me money to eat. And I give it to him. So he's more or less a family member now. Because we are all meant to be family to each other. We're meant to be our neighbor's keeper. We are meant to care for other people. We don't have to be billionaires before we do that.
All right, fantastic. Before I let you go, what advice do you have for other people who are in a position to help others, but they're not doing that, especially in Nigeria? There's so much money in Nigeria, but there are so many poor people in Nigeria.
Yeah, my advice to them is that they should please, I'm appealing now, because we just need to continue to beg, that they should please try as much as possible to help people, because the life you save today might be yours. Let me tell you something. There's a lady that has offered me a property in Cameroon that will house 30 orphans. This lady, when she was here, she went through a lot because she didn't have her papers, no home. The Lord was using me. Even before I started this foundation, I was caring for her. So when she got to know about this foundation, she said to me, what she can put into this foundation is she's got a back property now in Cameroon, and she's ready to give me 30 rooms that can occupy 30 orphans free. I don't need to pay. And I was raining praises. She said, no, don't do that. The life you saved then, you never knew that it was yours. So I would say to all of us here and even back home in Africa, the life you saved today could be yours. You never know. They could come out tomorrow to be your children's helper. Even if you are not doing it for what you can get back, do it for the sake of Christ. We all come from God. We all come from Abraham. We're brothers and sisters. We should care for other people. Look at this country. They don't have the resources we have back home in Africa. Why are they blessed? They care for people that are not even their members. Yes. They provided enough facilities. Free medical treatment, free medical education. You know, here, free education is there. You don't need to be a white person before you can get it. But go back to Nigeria. You need to know someone at the top there before you can be recognized. But we don't need all that. I'm just pleading from the higher level of the presidency to all the people that are billionaires out there. I haven't gotten anything, but I've got Christ. But I want them to please reach out to people so that we have less poor people in the society. And the government will be easy for everyone, pleasant for everybody to live in. Even people that are here will be willing to go back home because we'll not be afraid of armed robbers jumping in our house and killing us just like a pig. You understand? Yes. So when they do this, the country will be more peaceful to live in.
All right. Thank you so much. I've been talking with Dr. Teleola Oganla, who is the founder of Teleola Martha Foundation, Incorporated of Tai True Vine of Ofani. She is also the founder of Messiah Church, based in West Norwood, directly opposite West Norwood bus station here in London. Dr. Teleola Oganla, thank you so much for being part of the program today.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Finally being able to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
All right, my name is Tudi Alabi. It's a pleasure having you. Let's call it a day on the program today. Tomorrow is another day. Let's see if we can return you to how we started this that interview. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you know anybody in the Nigerian military, in the Nigerian government, get in touch with them. And let's be fair and be truthful. Enough of deceit. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.